So, we've gotten our hands on something pretty wild. It appears to be a leaked, confidential document, a letter from someone called Stoneheart to their apprentice. And it outlines a secret strategy with well, a truly sinister mission. We're going to break down this villain's playbook piece by piece.
Right from the get-go, the letter opens with this chilling warning: move wisely. It immediately sets this serious, almost conspiratorial tone. You can tell this isn't just friendly advice. It's a command to an apprentice who's being trained in some kind of dark art. The stakes are obviously incredibly high from the very first line.
So, what is this big secret mission? Well, the first part of the letter doesn't beat around the bush. The main objective is to strategically sow discord among women. The goal is to completely rewire how they relate to each other, to make sure they see each other as opponents in a race, not as allies.
And this, right here, is the heart of that mission. It's all about creating what the author calls a me versus her mentality. The idea is to make women see life as a zero-sum game, a constant contest where for you to win, another woman has to lose.
Okay, so how do they actually do that? How is this competitive mentality actually engineered? The playbook gets into the nitty-gritty, the specific psychological tactics they use to basically reframe the entire experience of being a woman into a contest that's impossible to win. It's all broken down into this really insidious three-step process. First, you set an impossible standard. Be like men. Now, when that doesn't work out, you pivot. The new standard becomes, just be better than the other women. And here's the kicker, the final step. Make absolutely sure that the finish line for being better is always, always moving.
And here are all the different battlegrounds for that infinite race. The playbook encourages women to compete in just about every part of life. It doesn't really matter what the contest is about, being smarter, wealthier, more athletic, as long as they are constantly measuring themselves against one another. It's a system that's just designed to be completely isolating and, frankly, exhausting.
But then the letter takes this really fascinating turn. Stoneheart starts talking about a community exercise that is the exact opposite of the mission. It's described as something the enemy wants them to do, a tactic they call the spiderweb activity. This is a huge pivot in the letter, right? After laying out this whole playbook for creating division, the author just stops and starts talking about the very thing they're trying to destroy. It really makes you wonder, what is the ultimate antidote to this whole villainous plan?
And the enemy's countermove? It's all about intentional observation and celebration. Instead of comparing and competing, people are actually tasked with finding and then saying out loud what they admire in one another. It is a total 180 from the playbook's goal.
And you can just picture it, right? As each letter is read, this ball of yarn gets tossed across the room, and it creates this physical web of connection. It's a visual of shared vulnerability, of mutual respect. It's a web of unity, not a ladder of competition. It's the very thing this whole mission is designed to destroy.
And then comes this quote, and wow, it just lays it all bare. The villain's biggest fear isn't that they'll fail, it's that women will unite. This spiderweb of connection and celebration, that's the ultimate threat to their entire operation. The stakes couldn't be any clearer.
Okay, so if unity is the big threat, what are the weapons used to dismantle it? The next section of the letter goes into detail about the specific tools Stoneheart and the apprentice are supposed to use to tear that web apart.
This slide really lays out the two sides of the war, you know? On one side, you have all the toxic things the playbook wants to cultivate: competition, envy, insecurity, gossip, and on the other, everything that spiderweb represents: celebration, unity, harmony. It's a battle of two completely opposite worlds. First up in the arsenal is envy. And the letter is clear. This isn't just a feeling. It is a strategic weapon, a deadly tool that eats them alive. It's the totally natural result of the constant comparison game, and it becomes the gateway to some really deep-seated insecurity. And that insecurity leads right to the next weapon in the playbook: gossip. Listen to this quote, it is absolutely chilling. Gossip isn't just some unfortunate byproduct. To them, it's a victory. It's the music to your ears that proves the mission is working, that women are successfully being turned against each other. The letter even goes on to break down why this works so well, why they gossip, and it all leads back to the playbook. It could be insecurity, a lack of confidence, even just boredom. But ultimately, it's a tool to tear others down and try to get ahead. It's the sound of the machine working exactly as it was designed.
So where is all of this headed? We've seen the mission, the tactics, the weapons, but what's the end game? What is the ultimate objective here? Well, now we get to the final and most destructive prize Stoneheart is after.
The letter basically maps out this slippery slope, and it does it with chilling clarity. It's a chain reaction. First, the manufacturer competition creates insecurity. That insecurity then fuels judgment and gossip. And the final stop on this train, intense self-hatred.
And there it is, the ultimate prize. The entire elaborate scheme, all the manipulation, all the engineered competition is designed for one single outcome. A world filled with women who are at war with themselves.
But why? Why self-hatred? Well, the letter explains it perfectly. Because it is the ultimate roadblock to connection. It makes that spiderweb of unity completely impossible. A woman who is fighting a battle against herself has no energy left to build alliances or celebrate other people. She's perfectly isolated. And for Stoneheart, the mission is a success.
So, this confidential letter, this villain's playbook, is all out in the open now. Seeing the strategy so clearly, from the manufactured competition all the way to the final goal of self-hatred, it gives us a new kind of awareness. So the final question, it isn't really for the apprentice, it's for us. Now that you know the rules of this twisted game, how do you choose to play it differently?